Okay, well, thanks and good morning to everybody in the Cayman Islands. Good afternoon to everyone in the rest of the civilized world, North America. Forgive me for wearing my sunglasses. This is none to do with a promotion for the next summit that's coming up. This is because there's so much pink on the screen that I'm not used to this level of brightness, but I will take them off. So as you can see, today we're here to enjoy ourselves and celebrate. The theme of today's meeting is the changing of the guard. Now, I'd like to talk a little about that. It somewhat reminds me of my British roots, the change of the guard at Buckingham Palace I enjoyed so much when I was a little boy, the Queen. And you know, and the term comes up that I hear from time to time, and that term is Rotary royalty. And of course, that's an amusing term, but it makes me think of, well, of course, none other than Queen Stephanie and King Peter. I mean, our very own leaders. So, and Peter, of course, will shortly assume the role of sole head of state and hand over eventually to some young brash prince, assuming he behaves, who's sitting here in the Cayman Islands sometime next year as well. So that prince, of course, is lucky to have a Princess Michelle, and she keeps him on a straight and narrow. Also, thankfully, she's no Meghan Merkel, so there will no be exposés in Oprah or anything like that related to it. So, seriously though, this is both the time to look back at a highly successful 2 years of Stephanie's reign and 1 year of Peter's. And I'd just like to add two observations to start with. Firstly, they have been an amazing team, haven't they? Are we in agreement with that? What an amazing team they've been. And I'm slightly envious that I won't be a co-director going forward, seeing how effective they've been for us. I know Peter will miss Stephanie tremendously, and I'll do my best to stand in as a partner, although will be mighty big shoes to fill. On a side note, this was not an easy thing for either of them to do. I'm not aware of it ever been done before in Rotary's history. It may well have been, but combining two directors' terms of office, starting with post-RA Treasurer David and Stephanie, and then moving on to Stephanie and Peter. It's not the way RIZ leadership is designed to operate, and because of that, I just want to say how thankful we are to them for making it work so smoothly. I know, having spoken to both Peter and David, how easily Stephanie made it for each of them, and vice versa, how well they worked as teams. This, of course, is to each of their credit, and also to the Zone and Rotary Internationals, and each of our significant benefit. For a period of 3 terms of office, we got the power of 2, or not the power of 1. And as I said, I've got exceptionally big shoes to fill. Stephanie's carried this role lightly, with ease, poise, and grace, as I said, fit for a queen. However, don't mess with her. That Pittsburgher comes out in full force, as we know from time to time. Now, this is beginning to sound like a eulogy, and it's not meant to be. This is very much a celebration. And this is the last Zoomformation of the year, but I wanted to give her the biggest thanks from all of us, from every Rotarian, Rotaractor, and district leader and zone 33 and 34, for the amazing job she's done in making our zones and organizations stronger and better in so many ways. Thank you, Stephanie.
You are welcome. It was a pleasure.
So, without further ado, we've got an exciting program for you, and I'd now like to turn over to the Queen herself.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. You know, my part of the agenda today is actually very simple. I'm taking a look back at the year. So all of you Flamingo governors and all of you current presidents and all of you current coordinators, holy crap, what a year we had. We had a twin crises. We had a pandemic and we had economic instability. Some people may even go as far as saying it was a recession. But you know what? You and your districts, you and your clubs not only survived, you came out thriving. I've said it many times before. You figured out how to keep Rotarians connecting, and you figured out how to keep service happening. So it's a testament to your skills as a leader. So what I'm going to ask now is, if you are a Flamingo governor, please keep your video on. All other people, please disable your video. Please stop your video. So on the gallery, what we want to see are the Flamingo governors. And there they are. Look at all that pink. And I'm so excited that I was a part of your Flamingo class. Governors, I want to thank you. Thank you for leading your districts, leading your clubs. It has been such a distinct honor to watch each of you. Each of you have a different style of leadership. Each of you did different things. Each of you did amazing things in light of the kind of year we had. So on behalf of Rotary International, we owe you a thank you, a debt of gratitude for keeping the ship afloat, because you did amazing, amazing things, and you will not be forgotten. Once a flamingo, always a flamingo. So now I would like all current presidents, if you are on the call, please put your video on. Everybody else, stop your video. So goodbye, flamingo governors, for a moment. So now I want to speak about and to the presidents who have led their clubs. You know, when you look at the world and what happened when we had this pandemic and the things going on, many things stopped. It's estimated that 1/3 of all nonprofits failed during the coronavirus, but not Rotary, not our Rotary clubs. We figured out how to keep Rotarians doing what they do best, and that's serving humanity. We did it differently. Some clubs figured out how to meet on virtual platforms. Some clubs did hybrid meetings. Some used good old cell phones and called each other and checked on each other. But whatever you did, you figured out how to lead your clubs in an amazing way. So on behalf of Rotary International, again, we owe you a debt of gratitude for keeping this ship afloat and keeping Rotarians engaged and active. So thank you for your service. And with that, I can ask everybody to go ahead and bring your video back up, and I will turn it over to Director Peter Kyle, who has comments now about serving to change lives.
Great. Well, thank you, Stephanie, and good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to echo Stephanie's comments. The Flamingos have been a fabulous group. I've had the good fortune to get to know each one of you. We've had lots of one-on-one chats. I will always remember being flocked by the flamingos. That was just an amazing thing to wake up and see all these flamingos on our front lawn. How that was done in the dead of night, I don't know, but that will be one of my more cherished memories of this group. And you've been such a united group. The bonding, the fellowship, fantastic. This has been a fantastic year. Notwithstanding all the challenges that Stephanie highlighted, we've still had a terrific year. So my thanks and congratulations to go to all the current DGs and all the current presidents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now, following the practice, I'm going to ask everybody to turn off their videos, except for the incoming district governors. Team Galaxy, if you could now open up your video so we can see you all. I can see 3 or 4 or 5. All right, I guess you're on the next page. Oh, there we are. Nico, Mary, Dana, Sonia, Gita, great. Well, Stephanie may have led you to believe that the Flamingo team was the best cohort of district governors in the history of zones 33 and 34. But you and I know that we are going to prove them wrong, that the incoming class of district governors, Team Galaxy, is going to really set the zone on fire. This is going to be a great group. Again, I've had the good fortune to get to meet a lot of you, to talk to you, and you've also developed a very close relationship with each other. Thanks to WhatsApp and Zoom, the camaraderie, the fellowship that our district governors and DGE and the DGN class have developed is really quite remarkable. And this augurs well for another fantastic year. Serving Rotary to save lives. We're going to be working with RI President Sheikha Mehta You'll find that he's a fantastic president. He's a leader. He's a guide. Shaker by name, shaker by action. He's an action-oriented individual. You'll need to run to keep up with Shaker Meta, but you will enjoy the process. So what I'm going to do now is to invite you informally to take office. I'm sure that each one of you have your own changeover ceremonies planned or your own installation ceremony, and that will be the official installation for each of you. But for the sake of today's meeting, I'm going to ask that we go through a fake installation ceremony, if you like, so that we all start off on the same footing. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and there's only one answer to every one of them, and that is, I will. Everybody understand? That's all you need to say, I will. And those of you with fertile imaginations are going to wonder, what on earth is he going to ask us to commit to? Well, let me assure you, it's all within the four-way test. So district governors-elect, you have been selected to serve as the governor of your respective Rotary district for the 2021-22 Rotary year. Please confirm your agreement to serve in this capacity by answering I will to each of the following questions. 1, will you pledge to comply with the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation, and your district?
I will.
2, will you pledge to further the object of Rotary by providing leadership and supervision of the clubs in your district?
I will.
Just to let you know that we're counting, we're watching you. Number 3, will you pledge to provide inspiration and motivation to the clubs in your district?
I will.
4, will you pledge to work with past, current, and incoming district leaders to foster effective clubs?
I will.
5, will you pledge to carry out the duties, responsibilities, and activities expected of the district governor as outlined in Article 15 of the Rotary International bylaws?
I will.
And finally, will you pledge to support Rotary International President Shaker Meta's strategic initiatives to encourage clubs to engage in humanitarian service and to enhance the public image of Rotary?
I will.
Thank you, district governors. I hereby declare each of you informally to be duly elected as the governors of your respective districts for the 2021-22 Rotary year. Ladies and gentlemen, please greet your new district governors.
Woohoo!
Woo.
Congratulations.
And now we're going to move to incoming club presidents. So I ask everybody to turn off their video, but any incoming club presidents, could you please open up your video so that we can see you all? All right, I can see a few. All right, so the same procedure. Club presidents, please answer I will to each of the following pledges. You have been selected to serve as the president of your club in your respective Rotary district for the 2021-22 Rotary year. Please confirm your agreement to serve in this capacity by answering I will to each of the following questions. 1, will you pledge to comply with the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation, and your district?
I will.
I will.
I will.
I heard three responses. Any more? All right. 2, will you pledge to further the object of Rotary by providing leadership and supervision of the clubs in your district?
I will.
In your club.
I will.
Will you pledge to provide inspiration and motivation to the members of your club?
I will.
I will.
Will you pledge to
I will.
past, current, and incoming club leaders to foster an effective club environment?
I will.
I will.
I will.
Will you pledge to carry out the duties, responsibilities, and activities expected of a club president as outlined in the Rotary International bylaws?
I
I
will.
will.
Okay. And finally, will you also pledge to support Rotary International President Shaker Mehta's strategic initiatives to encourage Rotarians to engage in humanitarian service and to enhance the public image of Rotary?
I will.
I will.
Incoming club presidents, I hereby declare each of you to be duly elected as the president of your club for the 2021-22 Rotary Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please greet your new club presidents. Woo! All right, well, can I invite you all now to everybody to come back online in video? And I turn the microphone back to President nominee, District Director nominee, Jeremy.
Thanks, Peter. I'm definitely. Sorry, I've been muted again. I said, thanks, Peter. I doubt I'll be at that point at some time in the near future, but thank you very much. And congratulations to Team Galaxy. So it falls upon me now to thank and congratulate another group, without whom our zones, our districts, our clubs could not have been as strong as they have been this year. And I really want to call out in particular our coordinator teams. Now, I was going to call out names, but I started looking at these teams and realized whilst I knew each of them individually, I didn't really understand how many we had. I started counting. We went through the regional coordinators, the Rotary Foundation coordinators, the Rotary coordinators, the public image team, and I got to 45 and stopped. And then when I added the interclub, the innovative club advocates as well, it's well over 100. So what a team, what a team. So what I'm going to do now is learn from Stephanie and Peter and ask if I could initially everyone to take their video off so we can just see your profile pictures. And if I could ask the Regional Rotary Foundation coordinators on the call to stay on, please. I want to first congratulate them for the tremendous job they've done during COVID in particular, in ensuring the support for our foundation has remained strong. And of course, our support for M-Polio as well, and Major Gifts, and all of the other initiatives they support. They've done an amazing job. Contributions have remained high. I'm also going to ask the incoming, if there's any incoming coordinators to stay on as well. So congratulations to them first. Okay. Secondly, as a group, if I could now ask everyone to mute, including the foundation coordinators, and ask the RPICs to reveal themselves. Okay, do we have any RPICs on the call right now? Okay, so RPICs again have been just as vital during this exceptionally challenging time, stepping up, helping us all understand the best ways to leverage virtual and hybrid meeting formats, social media, and a range of other skill sets that don't come to many of us intuitively. Their role as brand police has been essential as we move towards a consistent brand globally. And in addition, they've done an absolutely amazing job supporting the various zone events we've had. And so if they could then hide themselves, so we can now reveal the next group, and membership team, the Rotary coordinators. If the Rotary coordinators and the assistant coordinators could come on, they've done an amazing job in Pemberton and essentially brought the message up to probably more Rotarians, clubs and districts during COVID than perhaps they ever had before, through a variety of channels. And it's so vital that we get the message out about growing Rotary and making our club stronger if we're to reverse this North American membership trend. And we've done a great job in doing it this year. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the Innovative Club advocates. If there's any of those on the call, if you could reveal yourselves. Again, another amazing group formed at relatively short notice as part of the North American Directors Initiative, creating cause-based satellite clubs, further clubs, corporate clubs, a whole range of new club models. And we're starting to see the green shoots really spring throughout our districts in terms of new clubs. I mean, I know there's been a few of them formed so far, but Peter will tell you the numbers that we've got potentially in place for next year could make all the difference. So we're looking to really move that needle and turn the corner and start real growth in our zones in Peter's year. So once again, thanks and congratulations to all of you. I'd also like to thank the RI staff who formed part of those teams and supported right the way along. And keep up the tremendous work. You've got a great opportunity with President-elect Shaker and with Director Peter to really go and take our zones to a totally new level, and I'm sure you're going to be able to do that. So now I'd like to pass over to past RI Director David for the next section.
To the next group of leaders. And in your case, it starts with two outstanding leaders. Stephanie Urchick, who has been a great friend of mine for years. We've served together on so many positions. She has been an outstanding leader of Rotary, let me tell you, and she has done a great job as the Executive Committee Chair of the Rotary Year for this year. And she passes on the baton to another of my friends who is again an outstanding Rotarian, and that is Peter Kyle, who again, you'll be surprised to know, is the Executive Committee Chair. So one Executive Committee Chair passes on the baton to another Executive Committee Chair, shows the quality of leadership in your zones. The next, I would say, to all the district governors. My compliments to all the governors who have done excellent work. They found opportunity, even in these stressful times. They found opportunity to be able to serve. Thank you so much for the service that you do. And as you pass on the baton to the new DGEs, I ask all the DGEs, let us grow more and do more. So the next year, your first responsibility will be to get the organization growing. Mind you, our goal is 1.3 million at the end of your year. And we will do this by each one bring one. I request you spread this message to every Rotarian so that every Rotarian gets a member into Rotary. And then we will do more service projects, more contribution to the foundation, and our organization will grow. And we will be able to serve to change lives. I wish this function all the very best. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, RI President-elect Shaker. How fortunate we are that he would take the time to prepare a personal message to our two zones. We are very grateful to Shaker, and we will convey your thanks and your gratitude to him later today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a special cameo appearance, none other than current district governor, but about to be past district governor, Mike Walker. Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. And so we Flamingo district governors owe so much to our RI Director Stephanie, and we can never fully express our gratitude, but we're going to try with two gifts. The first will be presented now by Flamingo DG Al DeLucia. It will be presented again, Stephanie, in person in Naples in September. So Al, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Stephanie, it's impossible to tell you what you've meant to us over the past 2 years. You know, your guidance and wisdom have helped each of us in so many different ways. Your inspiration and leadership were an example for all of us to follow and hopefully to emulate. Your patience and understanding calmed our nerves when all of us had the thoughts of, what the heck did we get ourselves into? We want to thank you for being our mentor, our sounding board, our voice of reason, and our source of encouragement. But mostly, we want to thank you for being our friend and a member of our Flamingo family. We can never fully express how much you've meant to each of us and how much you are loved by all of us. As a small token of our tremendous appreciation for all that you've done for us and all that you mean to us, on behalf of all the members of your Flamingo family, I'd like to present you virtually with this Wendell August plate. Can you see it? It says, Rotary opens opportunities 2020 to 2021 Director Stephanie Urchick. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, Stephanie. We cannot express our love for you enough. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Back to you.
Thank you, Al. And like Al said, it would be impossible to describe all the ways we Flamingos love you, Stephanie, and what you mean to us. But we're going to try with over 70 unique words that describe you, all of which came directly from Flamingos and Rotaract leaders, with that classic Pittsburgh song, Monongahela Sal, playing in the background. So I'm going to cue that up right about now.
She was born in an old Monessen alley. Her mom and her pa, they called her Sal. She grew up to be the pride of the valley. A typical Monongahela gal. She wandered one day by the river, and she watched the Jason steaming by. Her heart gave a leap and a quiver as she caught the handsome pilot's rolling eye. Now his name, you must know, was Moat Stanley, and he wore a fancy sporting coat. He was tall, dark, and handsome and manly, the slickest pilot ever steered a boat. Roll on, Monongahela. Roll on to the Ohio. Roll on past Albuquerque, down to the Mississippi, there to the Gulf of Mexico.
Uh-oh.
Now Moat gave a toot on his whistle, and the Jason churned the water at her stern. And Sal, stepping light as a thistle, reached up and took Moat Stanley's hand in hand. It was love, careless love by the river. It was love, careless love by the shore. And I'm sure the good Lord will forgive her, for she never knew what love was like before. He swore that he always would love her, as they locked through the old Emsworth Dam. But that night, overboard he did shove her, and then Moat Stanley took it on the land. Well, no one could say Sal was sickly. She didn't even take time out to ball, but she hightailed it right down for civically, slapping out past Australian crawl. She hopped a fast freight for Rochester, and there was Moat steaming close to shore, from a yard bull who tried to molest her. She up and swiped a great big 44. She raised a fat big shooting iron, and she fired 6 shots in the boat. And when she lay down at the bar, she sure messed up that fancy sporting coat. Oh, on the Gila, where the catfish and the carp lived long ago. You used to be so pure, but now you're just a sewer. That's off the Gulf of Mexico. She was born in an old Monessen alley.
We thank you so much, Stephanie. We love you so much, and we appreciate everything that you've done this year. And those are the words that describe you from the flock and our Rotaract leaders. So congratulations.
Well, thank you all, Flamingo
Thank you,
governors.
Mike.
You forgot one word, speechless.
Speechless. Yes. Well, I have to, and I need to give credit to Daryl Keys for putting that together. So thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Al, for that perfect rendition of Monongahela Sal. And now we give a right of reply to Stephanie. Stephanie, you don't have to say anything, but if you don't, it will be held against you. So this is your chance to say what you really think about the Flamingo team.
Oh, well, the Flamingos rock, and I have always been honored to be a part of it. So thank you for accepting me as a Flamingo, and you're stuck with me. So like I said before, once a Flamingo, always the Flamingo. And I so appreciate your special words. And like I said, very few things bring me to tears, but you guys did it. It's been an exceptional year with you all. And as I said during my earlier comments, we had it tough, we had it rough, but man, we did it. We did it, and we did it with class and style. And you know, I'll put our 2 zones up against anybody else's zones anytime, because we just truly are amazing. The song you picked is a particular favorite of mine. I mean, you all know that I affiliate with the city of Pittsburgh, but the opening lines of that song, she was born in an old Monessen alley. Monessen is my hometown. So that's one of the reasons that I always like the song, even though it has a strange narrative. But thank you for making it fun. I have a special announcement before I turn things over for the end of our call today. You may recall that during the pandemic year, we had to pivot and have our summit virtually, but we still used Pittsburgh as the backdrop. And our summit was aptly led by Jeremy Hurst, who was our general chair. No one could have done it like Jeremy, and members of his team are on this call. It was just phenomenal. It was the best virtual zone summit we've ever had. But in addition to having that summit, one of the things that you may recall is that we were honoring the Pittsburgh parking chair, which is a story in and of itself. And we had a special project. We had a project to allow us, if we wanted to donate, to buy a chair for a high school that I visited in Jakova in Kosovo. The students didn't have any chairs to sit on, and I'm happy to report that this week the chairs were delivered. And past Director Stovall has put up 2 of the pictures that came through. You'll see students happily carrying the chairs in, and all the chairs lined up. So for those of you who donated individually, or if your club donated, or if your district donated, we thank you very much. That project came to conclusion. It was not a global grant, but it was international service, and it's a way for us to further the story of Rotary. Each of the classrooms that received chairs will have a plaque mentioning that the chairs in that room were donated by Rotary Friends in zones 33 and 34 USA. So thank you for supporting the Kosovo Chair Project. And stay tuned. We may do some more work with that area of the world as we move further. So I'll turn it back over now to Jeremy, who has a special announcement.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. And of course, we have another amazing opportunity to celebrate coming up very shortly. On the 12th to the 16th of June, we have the RI convention itself, which will be a virtual convention, of course, as we know. On the 10th to 11th, we have some excellent pre-convention events as well. I'd like to encourage you all to register. We have a target, Rotary has a target of 15,000. We're slightly under that now. We're just over 9,000. So this last push in this last week is going to be very important. So let me just assure you, this is going to be a very different event this year. As for some of us last year, we went Rotary pivoted and had to cancel the convention. Within a matter of a couple of months, had to turn around a virtual convention, and I think some of us felt that it probably wasn't quite as grand and spectacular as we thought it was going to be. Well, I can tell you, I know they've learned, watched, and listened, and as we all have this year. And I hear they've learned quite a bit from what we did in Pittsburgh as well, Stephanie, on the quiet. But they have some amazing events, some very relevant speakers, and I know this is going to be a very different and exciting event. So, for example, we have the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. I think I probably murdered his name. I apologize to him. Alicia Davis, the Emmy-winning journalist, Dr. Seth Berkley, CEO of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, and Dr. Bruce Elwood from the World Health Organization. Of course, we have President Holger, incoming President Shekhar, and President nominee Jennifer there as well. So it's going to be an amazing event. There's still time to register. Jump online and enjoy it with us. It will be one of the most exciting virtual Rotary events ever, I believe. Let's all be there and meet and have some fun. Thank you. Now over to you, Peter, I think, to wrap up.
Thank you, Jeremy. So that brings us to the end of our final Zoomformation call for this Rotary year. A big thank you to David Stovall for all his work during the year, to behind the scenes doing the tech work. Yes, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, David. Open up your video so we can see you. Special thanks, of course, to my friend and colleague, Stephanie, and I'll have my own opportunity to thank and farewell Stephanie very shortly. Thank you to Jeremy for helping out and being such a good sport and getting involved in the Zoomformation calls. But most of all, a big thank you to all those on the call for entering into the spirit of this, for participating once a month. It means a lot to Stephanie and me, and I know Jeremy will feel the same way, to know that we have such a strong team, such strong support. I wish you well as we move it to the summer. The next Zoomformation call may be on Monday, July the 5th. I'm conscious that that's the day after July 4th, and people may have other plans. So we'll make a decision on whether or not to have a call on July 5th. But if we don't, we will certainly be having regular Zoomformation calls throughout the next Rotary year. So thank you all again. And as is the custom, I invite Stephanie and Jeremy to join with me in repeating the four-way test. Of all the things we think, say,
or do.
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair
to all concerned?
Will it build
goodwill and better friendships? Will it be
beneficial
to all concerned?
And I think, David, if you're still there, we'll leave the call open in case anybody wants to have make a comment to Stephanie. Stephanie, I hope you're still available. I didn't warn you about this, but if you're still around, I'm sure people would like to have a chance to wish you well in person. So those who want to go or need to go, please feel free. Those who want to stay, please feel free to stay. Thank you all, and see you next month.